Welcome back, our esteemed viewers, from the short break. As we were discussing before we went for the break, discussing about the story of Anas with the people of Ahl Sufa, the people that used to camp in the masjid of our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. As we were saying, Anas went in trying to solicit on behalf of them some meat from our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam so that he can give it to them. Within that period of Anas going inside the room of Rasul and coming back to them for their discussion, they had already said, who is Anas to talk to us like that? It's not just this young boy, and they were just making it out of jest, jokingly. When Anas met a Rasul, Allah has already revealed to him. He said, "Oh Rasulullah, these people are saying they haven't eaten meat for long, and if you can give them some part of the meat." Rasulullah told Anas, "Go and tell them that they have just eaten a meat now." Wow. Anas went back to them and he told them that Rasulullah said, "I should tell you, you have eaten a meat now." They said, "Wallahi, we haven't eaten meat for long." Go back until themselves they had to stand up. They go to meet Rasulullah. Rasulullah told them, "You people have eaten the meat of your brother Anas bin Malik. If you want to confirm what I'm saying, spit. They spat and they spat blood." This is an authentic hadith from the Sahih. It's a Sahih hadith from one of our in Sahih Bukhari or Sahih Muslim. This is the effect of gossip. Just look at the trivial what they said. This boy, why should he be talking to us like that?
They didn't take it seriously.
So that brought me to the question, Doctor, about in your book you mentioned that there's something that Richard Wiseman said about the liability of gossip.
Yeah, the likability.
Likability. Yeah,
yes.
Exactly.
If Richard Wiseman in his 59 seconds, he's written a lot of books. I think this one was in his 59 seconds. He said, if you want to be liked, you should say something, good behind people's back. And we can see this even in the life of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He used to say nice things behind his companions, You say this person is
exactly.
And sometimes that person will just come in and the other companions will say, this is what the Prophet said about you.
You'll be so happy.
Yes, you'll be happy, and that also increases loyalty. So if you have employees, you say nice things about them, and they will respect you for it, because if the person being told tells them that this is what your boss said about you, it will increase loyalty and that social bond, a positive bond between you. In fact, I consult for some organizations, and sometimes I tell the bosses, I said, randomly, just choose the number of your employees and call them one day and say you are doing a great job. Some of them don't do it. You understand? Exactly. So when I go to the workplaces, I will stop one of the employees and I said, your boss was saying some great things about you. It may not necessarily be true. Maybe I saw him doing something good. I say, your boss said this about, and they feel very good. Yeah. And it's specifically what exactly did he say? You very understand? Curious, exactly. So people appreciate it, and that will increase their loyalty to the organization and to you, and it makes them work better, more productive. So that is what Richard Wiseman was saying. And like we said, if it's otherwise, if you say something bad behind people, people will not respect you.
Exactly. Yes. Dr. Sir, you also mentioned that sometimes people used to feel like, but what the thing I'm saying about this person is actually true. I'm not actually saying bad thing about him. I'm not doing ghibah. I'm not backbiting him. So then, what to do if the topic of the gossip is true? Like somebody justifying his gossiping somebody else to be true. Yeah. What to do about it?
Yeah. I'm going to give two evidences here now. One in Islam and one from science. And that of Islam is, in fact, when the Prophet said, don't gossip about one another, his companion said, what if what we are saying about that person is true? And the Prophet said, if it is true, you are slandering that person. You know? Sorry, if it is not true, you are slandering that person. If it is true, you are gossiping, you know? Both are bad. Exactly. So you can't use that as an excuse but he did it, you know?
As it was reported, Ulam said, Atadruna malghiba, do you know what is gossip? They said, Allah and His Messenger knows. Ulam told them, Al-ghibatu dhikruka ahaka bima kariha, bima yakra. It is for you to mention of your partner what he dislikes. They say, in kana fi akhi ma aqul, what about if what I am saying about him is true? Faqad iktatu, that is actual gossip. What about if it is not true? In kana fi akhi ma laysa fihi ma aqul faqad bahatta, that is slandering.
That is slandering.
In support of what you just mentioned now.
And the researchers I just cited now also mentioned that you are cruel. There's one title of their paper. They said, you are cruel even if he did it. You understand? You know what it means?
You are cruel.
Yes. You are wicked even if the person you are talking about did it.
Exactly.
Yes. That was, if I tell you, like I mentioned before, that person is bad, you say, "Car, this Ibrahim Dubai is cruel. He's a wicked person." You understand? Even if that person did it.
For instance, if for instance somebody talks about you at your back, and I will bring it to you yourself. Doctor, do you know that this man has seen bad things about you? You know, in from the other side you may feel, wow, are you sincere? Is it true? But from the other side you feel like, why are you telling me? If you hadn't told me, I wouldn't have known.
In fact, let me quote what the author said about that. I think I have it at the end of the chapter here. They said research showed that is by Martinescu, showed that negative gossip elicited self-protection concerns. They wrote in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin. Negative gossip makes people concerned that their reputation may be at risk, as they may personally become targets of negative gossip in the future, which generates fear. You know? So if you badmouth somebody, to me, I will be afraid of you. Because
if you can
one, I will think you're a bad person. Two, I will be afraid of you. I say, if you tell me about this person, of course you will tell that person about me, or someone else about me.
Imam Hassan al-Basri, sorry to bring this issue. It's actually in support of Imam Hassan al-Basri. Somebody came and told him, yeah, Imam, do you know somebody is gossiping about you? And then Imam Hassan also Imam Shafi. He said, if the person gossiped about me, he has shot, what do they call it? An arrow, and he did not reach me. Why did you bring the arrow and come and put it in my hand? Why did you bring it to me?
Good.
Yeah, you shouldn't have.
That's a very good analogy. Yes,
exactly. May Allah make it easy, sir. Doctor, finally, before we go, we call this to an end, inshallah. How do we help the gossip? How do we help it?
Because some people can't stop themselves, you know. But there is an easy way to stop the gossip, to help them and to help yourself, you know, so that you'll be a willing or an unwilling participant in the gossip. You steer them away from the gossip. You change the subject. But it's not any subject that you can bring, you know. The organizational psychologist Adam Grant said that if you want people to feel good about themselves, you should get them to talk about themselves. Yes. So now, like we mentioned, they are enjoying the gossip. They are feeling good about themselves. So substitute something else that they will feel good about. So you bring a subject about themselves. Say, hey, how are you doing at your new job? You understand?
Wow.
Or how is your son doing? I'm sure he's a big person now, you know?
Wow. Changing the subject matter completely.
Yes. He knows that you are changing the subject, but this is also another topic he enjoys talking about. So it's like distracting a child. You collect a knife from the baby to give the baby sweets, you know?
Yeah.
The baby will be immediately distracted. You forget about the knife,
Exactly.
and you enjoy the.
So from this now, we should
sweet.
not be too negative about people gossiping. Instead of us telling them blatantly, stop gossiping, some might not take it in public
Yes,
and the rest.
yes.
We should try to change the subject
Yes,
matter
yes.
to suit what they want, and we
Yes.
still distract them from gossiping others.
Yes.
Wow,
And
sorry.
everybody, you still keep your friend, you know. It's not, it's
Exactly.
like there won't be any resentment, you know, because if you say, sorry, I feel very uncomfortable talking about people, now he's going to feel bad.
Yeah, you
Yes,
feel like you
yes.
two used to do it sometimes.
Yes. So let's just change the topic. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah, that was a very, very interesting discussion with Doctor. As we've all heard, I'm sure our esteemed viewers are happy now regarding how the topic of gossip has been treated not just from the Islamic perspective, but from the science perspective. We look at it from the from the science perspective with the mirror or the glasses of Islam, from the Kitabullah and Sunnah and what Allah and Rasulullah said about gossiping. So we hope, as we've listened to it now, we hope Allah will make it easy for us to leave this act of gossip, because it has actually entrenched in our society and even in our heart subconsciously. People will start gossiping about us, and it's actually most of the reasons why our good action got destroyed, and while the enmity between us keep on increasing. We ask Allah to save us. So we hope at the end of the day we'll be able to imbibe this in our character, because that is the essence of the discussion. We pray Allah reward Doctor abundantly for the book written. I'm sure by the end of our discussion, every viewer will love to read this book. There's a lot. It's just the tip of an iceberg that we Doctor is sharing with us here. There's a lot, and so other books that he has written in this psychological field of knowledge. We ask Allah to reward him abundantly. We ask Allah to make it easy for us to imbibe it in our character and forgive us our shortcomings. We'll be coming to the end of our discussion for today, our distinguished and esteemed viewers. Jazakumullah khairan for your patience. Till we meet again in our next episode, that is episode 5, where we'll be discussing, in the episode 5, we'll be discussing the science of patience. The science of patience. Meet us and join us there. Tune in to the channel the same time, inshallah, in episode 5.
I will tell them a story about
Exactly.
I will tell them a story about how I was waylaid by armed robbers in the middle of the night.
Yes, I read it.
What I did and how I endangered my life.
Allah khairan. Thank you very much for your patience and perseverance. May Allah reward you abundantly. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.